folks, we like to talk about a couple of things today. First of all, it's a pity that the country of 250 million people is celebrating 1.2 billion loan from IMF. And the reason why they are in such a dire condition, the whole blame goes to the GHQ Interpass Low IQ gang. They worked for 70 years with mullahs, and the Islam is the reason which destroyed Pakistan from within. Nobody had to do anything. India did not have to do anything. It was Islam which actually GSQ used to wage 4 wars against India, and they lost all of them miserably. Every time they begged the world community to have a ceasefire, or President Clinton to have a ceasefire, you name it. Then on top of that, they created these terrorists who they thought will create problem for India, but instead, those terrorists, they came back and killed over 100,000 Pakistanis, their own people. And the main reason why these terrorists were created, because Pakistan army is incapable to make a fight with India and win it. They have done some dramas, but everything backfired, and ultimately they had to surrender or beg for the ceasefire. And the reason that they controlled Pakistan in the name of Kashmir and in the name that only they know how to run the country, and in the name that only this is the only disciplined institution in Pakistan who is capable to run the country. This false claim and this drama created by GSQ gang and told to the whole world, saying, oh, Pakistan has some special circumstances. The ground realities are that we are the owner of the country and only we can learn, so you should come and talk to us. So whether it is a foreign policy, whether it is international relations, whether it is economy, whether it is foreign affairs, and whether it is social setup of the country, which was supposed to be secular. They forced this shit of religion on the country and thereby destroyed every job creating chance. Under religion, I have said many times, the nation cannot create jobs. Religion prepares you for hereafter under one pretext or the other. Oh, we are doing sins. Oh, we must all for Allah for forgiveness. Oh, we need anything, we have to ask directly to Allah. If anybody is asking under a mazar or Dargah Sharif, he is doing shirk and he must be killed and thrown, and because they will be going to jail and all that nonsense. And I've said previously that when the Singapore Prime Minister, who changed a country from a small desert to a monumental, most powerful economic country in the world, Singapore, when he came to Pakistan and somebody asked him, Sir, do you have a message for Pakistani nation? He laughed and said, what can I say? Here everybody is more worried about hereafter than here. This is actually what this gang and mullah gang, and including some politicians, because even the politicians like Nawaz Sharif is a creation of military journal who believed that the shit of Islam can change the fate of Pakistanis, and we will have oil like Saudi Arabia and UAE and we'll be very rich. This stupid tried to force Sharia law, and when that was only one party, which was there were a couple of parties like People's Party and MQM, they opposed it, and he hated it, and then started the army action in Karachi because he wanted to have the absolute power which Sharia gives you. Like in Saudi Arabia, the Sharia empowers the king and he cannot be removed even if he is on coma. And we have very clear examples. In Iran, we saw Khomeini,
was the ruler until he breathed his last. For 10 years, he was in bed doing nothing. Same King Fahd, 15 years in bed, but nothing was done to change him. Only when he breathed his last, then the Faisal took over. This stupid mentality, the 7th century culture, is the reason why Pakistan is a beggar today. And we had golden chances. In the 80s, Pakistan was not an Arab slave. Pakistan was not an Islamized country. And I'm talking about early 60s, sorry, not 80s. Early 60s, Pakistan was a good, independent, progressive, secular country where everybody was respected, everybody was living together, and there was no problem among the citizens. They were not killing each other. We hardly had any Taliban back then. Then in 70s, when Ziaullah came, he forced this shit on the country, and that is main reason why Pakistan became an Arab slave. First of all, Saudis they gave like 20 to 40 million dollar in aid to Ziaullah to start a zakat system, which totally destroyed the social fabric of the country because the mullahs took most of their money. The recipient of zakats were defined as poor, widows, and the student in madrasa. And under this pretext, the mullahs of the community they took most of that money, and the poor could hardly get 300 rupees, like a $1 a month today, yearly. This is how much was given to the poor people. So that's destroyed the social fabric where the rich people were supporting the local people, which they know are poor and needy. But once the government started deducting their zakat tax, they stopped paying to those poor people or giving any help to the poor. So that totally destroyed the civil culture, the civility in Pakistan. And then when Pakistan had a great chances of recognizing Israel in 1980, when Anwar Sadat clearly said we cannot fight the war of others, and he recognized it. Within 5 years, their GDP tripled, and then over the years, their economy prospered because the Palestine issue basically is not an issue. It is an issue created by Arab countries to use to fool their own nation. They created all the Kashmiri settlers in Gaza. They asked the Palestinian settlers in Gaza. They asked the Palestinians to run from their home, and they were settled in Gaza, which was part of Egypt territory, which was landed over later on by Egypt to PLO. And that drama is still continuing. And just for information, the Palestinians they make more money than Pakistanis. They are richer than Pakistanis. You can see the skyline of Karachi or Lahore and see the skyline of Gaza. Everything is now on the internet to watch. And on top of that, these Palestinians they don't respect Pakistan. The Palestinians recognized Israel in 92 under Oslo Agreement. But Pakistan still missed the chance. India recognized it immediately and today is the largest trading partner of Israel in in armaments, technologies, and in diamond trade. So we had golden chance to be an independent and strongest country in Muslim world because we have no quarrel with Israel. Israel is the only democratic country in Middle East. Israel is one country where the Jews are about 6.5 million and 1.5 million are Arabs, mostly Muslims, and they are living with full rights and powers. Their per capita income is $44,000, while the PLO controlled area is hardly $4,000.
And the why reason why they are so poor, because the PLO leaders are the most corrupt in the world. They don't they don't care about their people, they care about money. The Yasser Arafat was the richest political leader in the world, over $400 million assets. And so is the current president. All his ministers, they are millionaires. But they are using this issue and they want to keep this issue alive so that the Arab countries can use it to fool their people and the Palestinians can use it to fool their people, and only they make money. Although it is a land, people call it gold mine. The day they make peace and they stop this shit of jihad in PLO in Palestine, or stop working under the Arab kings, they will have the opportunity which nobody in the world has it. Billions of dollars of investment will flow into Palestine because it is a land for all three faiths. It is a land which is sitting on a gold mine. Billions of dollar investment, millions of jobs, and billions of income. That is what they are missing. But it is their stupidity, because the Palestinians have never lived as a civilized nation. As a matter of fact, they are not even nation. These are some hooligans, some gangsters who are living in that area. And the Arab countries, particularly Jordan, gave them help. And they, after 1967 war, which was created by Arabs, they wanted to attack Israel. But a day earlier, Israel preempted them and destroyed all their efforts and defeated more than 8 Arab countries and took a lot of land. Before 1967, they were saying, sit down and make peace because we are cousins. That's what even Palestinians used to call. I talk to many Palestinians and they will say that the reason why Israel was established is because of our own mistakes, because we used to call them cousins and we invited them. And it's a historical fact. King Fahd of King Abdullah of Jordan, who was like King Salman of Saudi Arabia today, made a contract with Israel and the Jewish to bring investment. And the Jewish, because they had a plan to come here, the land which was theirs originally for thousands of years, they agreed and they started coming. And then the World War One, when Turkey was defeated and this land was under British control, they give them the position so that they can get themselves established. And they were living very happily because they were paying high price to that desert land to Palestinians. And they used to call cousins and living together with happiness. Only when they saw that a political movement has started in Palestine for Israel to establish a state, that's where all the trouble came. And then they had a 1948 war, which was won by Israel, and Israel was established and recognized by UNO. And that was a much smaller area than what they have today. But they failed to sit down. They said, no, we will throw every Jew in the Mediterranean. Ultimately, what happened, every Arab country lost. But the corrupt Arab countries like Saudi Arabia, like Libya, like Egypt, they continued this trouble and drama of Palestine so that they can fool their own people. It is not they are working for Palestine. And that is the reason why Israel became stronger and these Arab countries remain poor, except the one who have oil. They blackmailed the oil and thereby they destroyed the economy of Pakistan. And Pakistan is such a dumb nation that they lost every chance. They lost in 1980, they didn't do anything in 1992. They could have done much later because it was a lost cause. There is no Palestinian issue. Both the nations have to live. First of all, Palestinian is not a nation. But even if you call them nation, they have to understand to learn side by side as they were living before the Second World War. What is the problem? They are cousins. And if there is any Arab blood in Palestinians, then the Jewish blood and Arab blood is pretty much same. But it is Pakistan who lost everything, who lost its image, who lost its opportunity, who lost its economy, who lost everything under this drama, which should not have been dealt with Pakistan. But because Pakistan was controlled by these inter-caste low IQ journals, every now and then they created, today is Kashmir Day, today is Palestine Day, and we will fight to liberate the Al-Quds. These stupids don't know that Al-Quds is not under Israeli hand. It is in the hand of Palestinians. Israel, being a secular country, never took over Al-Quds. It is under PLO and an Arab. And the only conflict Israel has that when the PLO, particularly from Gaza and sometimes from Lebanon, the Hezbollah, they used to throw rockets on Israel, then they will take action. If you talk to a Pakistani, you say, oh, Israel has killed millions of Palestinians. Every Pakistani, he has been misinformed so much that hardly less than 4,000 Palestinians have died in this conflict, while 100,000 Pakistanis have died in Pakistan for the foolish and stupidity of GHQ gang. And they still think that 220 million people are behind us. Today, if GHQ journal officer or anybody goes out, people will throw tomatoes on them, will throw eggs on them. They have been totally made naked, and their evil mentality has totally been exposed in the last 14 months, particularly. They have lost everything. They have lost the image. And Pakistanis rise up on May 9th and showed them what they really, their real value is. These cowards did not come to fight with them or stop them. And after that, using the PDM government, they are harassing PTI members, arresting them, but ultimately, when there will be election, they will be defeated. And May 9 will keep coming in Pakistan again and again because that was a glorious day. That was the day when Pakistani nations told these thugs, these cowards, these war losers that you are nothing. It is the people who have the power. So whether you say anything to Israel, if he criticizes you for human rights, means no, nothing. Because Palestinians have not suffered from Israel as much as Pakistanis have suffered from GHQ and this PMLN, PDM government. They have terrorized them to their limit. They have bring the bad name for the country to whole world. And Modi is very happy. And he has to. Because he didn't ask Pakistanis to do such stupid things. Or Nehru didn't ask Pakistanis to wage war against India. Every step India took was under the international laws and rules. They did nothing wrong any time in last 70 years. But the GHQ gang used their name and to put fear in Pakistanis that, oh, India is coming. Oh, India could need Akhand Bharat. Bullshit. If India need Akhand Bharat, they will not leave Bangladesh. Just after 6 months, after they surrendered 95% of Pakistani cowards, military men. They left Bangladesh, and today Bangladesh is the most progressive country in Southeast, with twice the number of the export in Pakistan. And even Pakistan claims that China is his best friend. India exports more than 100 times than Pakistani does. And they are considered to be enemies. This is called smartness. This is called brain, which only civilians have. The military generals, their brain is behind their back. This khoka is khali in a military general. And I have said many times, they are very low IQ, but they are cruel. They are killers. This is what they have been doing for 70 years, and they think they can continue it forever. Ever. Folks, the end of Pakistan is very near, and time is coming when this country will not be on the world map. And the only group responsible for this is the GHQ thugs and the Mullah gang, who, by the way, is always sponsored by Saudis and UAE. They get money from them, and then thereby they work with GHQ to destroy and frustrate every civilian nation. They disallow the job creation, they disallow human right, woman right, kids right, you name it. They are more interested in 5,000-year-old Mesopotamia history where people have no human right. And same is with Islam. Islam, as a matter of fact, has terrorized women more than they were before Arabs. Pakistanis have to read the history, and when you start blaming Israel and India, you really have no shame in you. Read the history, folks. The history will tell you that Pakistan is the most unfortunate country. Talk to any historian. He will tell you we have been on the wrong side all the way, and in all because of GSQ gang. Talk to you later. God bless.